The Heavenly Empire and the Nebulous Sovereignty had been in a war for 100 years. An imperial swordsman of the Heavenly Empire promised himself that he would do everything to stop the war between the two sides. His name was Iska. He was the youngest to receive the title of a saint disciple. One day, he helped and released the astral mage captured by the Empire. The astral mages, were so-called witches, were the residents of the Nebulous Sovereignty. Because of what Iska did, he was removed from being a saint disciple and sentenced to life imprisonment. But a year later, the 8 great apostles spoke to him. They decided to release him, but they also assigned him a mission. He had to face a direct descendant of the Grand Witch Nebulous, and it was a purebred. This person was also one of the strongest astral mage, and was known as the Ice Calamity Witch. When his astral swords were returned to him, he asked the great apostles if he could bring his previous colleagues in this mission. These were Jin, Nene, and their captain, named Mizmiz. When they left, it was here that Iska told them about their mission. After hearing the details, Mizmiz was shocked that they were about to face the Ice Calamity Witch. Jin said that he was sure that the Nebulous Sovereignty did not have information about their unit yet. It was also possible that they did not know Iska, since he was imprisoned immediately after he became a saint disciple, so their security might not be that strict. The next morning, they arrived at the location of the new weapon reactor, which was also targeted by the astral mages. The Imperial soldiers focused more on protecting it, that's why up to that moment, it was not yet finished. When they left to go to the front unit, they felt that someone was watching them, so they quickly got out of their car. Someone suddenly attacked their car, and those who did it were the astral mages who attacked them again. Just a few moments later, the other companions of the enemies also showed up. In this situation, Nene used her anti-astral power flares. Because of this, Jin and Iska had a chance to attack the opponents. With the speed of their attacks, the opponents were not able to fight back. But not long after, a golem suddenly appeared in front of them that was created by another astral mage, named Rin. When it attacked, it was easily blocked by Iska. Then Iska told them to go to the front unit, and he would take care of the enemy alone. When his companions left, Rin attacked him again, which Iska blocked, and she was wondering why he could easily do it. When Iska rushed towards her, Rin went down quickly, but she did not expect that her opponent was faster than her. She tried to fight back, but whatever she was planning did not work on Iska either. At that moment, the Ice Calamity Witch appeared, so Iska quickly moved away from Rin. Iska found out that her name was Alice after Rin mentioned it. Alice immediately used the Great Ice Calamity to cover the entire area with ice, and it included the reactor. After she asked for Iska's name, she started attacking him with a thousand-thorn blizzard. Although Iska could dodge most of them, there were still some that could get past him. For this reason, he decided to use the power of his astral swords. Alice wanted Iska to surrender, however, Iska just told her that if he surrendered, who else would end the war, and this surprised Alice. When Iska got closer, Alice backed away, so Rin was wondering why. Alice also mentioned her goal to defeat the Empire because she wanted to unite the whole world. But the block of ice where she was standing suddenly collapsed, causing her to fall on Iska. Just in time, they heard Mizmiz's voice, so Alice immediately got off from him. She called her pet and decided to retreat first. The next morning, Mizmiz went to check on Iska. Since Iska was having trouble sleeping, Mizmiz thought that he might have been traumatized by the fight he had with Alice. So he was brought to her room and she gave him a ticket to the opera house that was held every year in the city of Ein, which was a neutral city. She wanted him to relax before their next mission. Even Alice could not get rid of what happened in the previous battle in her mind. She also had a ticket to the opera house, and she also wanted to be there, so she invited Rin to go with her to Ein. The next day while they were heading to Ein, he dreamed of the night when his master, named Crosswhile, bequeathed the astral swords to him. When he went to the opera house and while watching, he did not expect that Alice was right in front of him. He heard that her handkerchief was filled with tears, so he let her borrow the one he brought. After the show, when the light was turned on, they were both surprised to see each other. Alice thought that Iska was following her and wanted to attack her. But since they were in a neutral city, they were not allowed to fight there. After Alice and Rin left, they went straight to a nearby restaurant to eat. But since there was no table available, they agreed to share it with other customers. They did not expect that they would also be joining with Iska at the table. Since Iska was the one who reserved the table, they could not do anything about it. When they ordered, it happened that they wanted to eat the same food. So at night, they both had trouble falling asleep. When Iska fell asleep, he dreamed of an incident when they were attacked by monsters. He immediately went out to fight them, but someone helped him and it was a girl. The next day while they were on a training, they were visited by another saint disciple, named Rizia. She informed them that she was the one who would lead them on their next mission. She also found out about Iska's situation, that he was having trouble sleeping, so she gave him a ticket for the art exhibition. Just like the ticket given by Ms. it would also be held in Ein. One day, Alice was summoned by her mother, the Queen of Nebulous Sovereignty. They talked about Alice's fight with Iska, and she learned that Iska's strength was almost equal to a saint disciple. The Queen thought that their battle might have something to do with the condition of their founder. They observed that the astral power was reacting whenever its host was in danger, and it seemed to be a sign of its reawakening. Alice suddenly remembered what Iska did with his astral swords. The Queen advised her not to fight him until they learned something about Iska's true identity. When they went out, Alice thought of going to Ein again, so she would not think too much about what was happening. Aside from this, she also wanted to make the most of her vacation. But the next day, when she arrived at Ein, she and Iska met again. And similarly to the opera house, they also had tickets for the art exhibit. In Alice's desire to get away from Iska, she searched for the location of the museum alone, causing her to get lost. For this reason, she decided to return to the square, and after a while, Iska came and approached her. He already suspected that she got lost because he did not see her at the museum. So he offered to accompany her, and they viewed all the paintings in the exhibit together. One day, Iska was summoned by the 8 great apostles to talk about the report he submitted about the fight between him and Alice. Although he was unable to protect the reactor, they were still happy that he was able to stop Alice. Because of what happened, it just meant that the Empire had someone to fight against the ice calamity which. They were also thinking that in the next few days, it would be possible for them to give him back the title of Saint Disciple. To increase the possibility of this to happen, he was told that it would be better if he was able to capture the ice calamity which. While he was thinking about the condition given by the 8 great apostles and Alice, he decided to call Ms. to inform her that he would not be able to join in the training the next day. He told her that he was going to Ein again, and he just needed to talk to someone. Ms. agreed to his request, but she wanted to go with him. After a few days of investigation, Rin went to Alice after she gathered some information about Iska. So she found out that Iska used to be a saint disciple. And the reason why they did not know this was because he did not go in a battle after he became a saint disciple. Rin added that Iska was immediately removed from being a saint disciple after he released an astral mage. Since they did not know which astral mage was released by Iska, Alice had Rin investigated as well. Just a few moments after Rin left, the Queen entered the room. It turned out that she had noticed that Alice was becoming interested in Iska. So she reminded Alice of the things the Empire had done on the astral mages. And the defeat of the Empire was what they desired most. When the Queen left, Alice called Rin to tell her that they were going to Ein the next day. She was hoping that Iska would also come there, and she would take this opportunity to find out Iska's true purpose. The next day, when they arrived at the city, they met each other right away. After Alice introduced herself to Ms., they left the city to continue their conversation. It was here that Iska stated his goal, that he wanted a peace negotiation to end the war. He planned to start it by capturing a direct descendant of Nebulous or a purebred, and through this, it would force the Nebulous sovereignty to respond to the peace negotiation. But according to Alice, even if he would do this, the Queen would definitely not respond to his request. But she still could not believe that there was someone in the Empire who was like Iska. So she decided to hire Iska to serve for her. Before Iska could answer this, they suddenly felt a tremor. They saw the sky gradually split, and after a few moments, the founder of Astral Mages, or the Grand Witch Nebulous, came out of it. So when the Queen arrived at the room of their founder, she was no longer there. It attacked them. Luckily, they all survived and Ms. only lost consciousness. Alice tried to stop their founder, but she just got angry, so Rin quickly took action to block its attack. But due to the founder's strength, Rin's golem also was unable to withstand it. When they approached Iska, Iska told Ms. to take Rin to the astral injury specialist. Then he and Alice got ready to fight the founder. The founder immediately thought that Iska's astral swords might be the reason why she had been awakened again, and she said that she also knew Crosswhile. She attacked Iska, but he could not hit him because of the cooperation between Iska and Alice. The founder released her disciple, but Alice easily stopped it. Because of this, she used the planet's wrath, and Alice was almost blown away by its power. With Iska's help, Alice positioned herself properly, and this was when she used the flooding snow lights and star of ice. When she managed to push the founder away, Iska moved quickly to attack their opponent. The founder even tried to attack Iska, but with the help of Alice's bloom, Iska successfully defeated her, causing her to return to where she came from. Before Iska and Alice part ways, Iska told her that he would not join the side of Nebulous. One day, the 8 great apostles summoned Rizia. They instructed Rizia to send Iska's unit as reinforcement in the search for the Vortex in southwest Mudal Valley. Although Rizia knew that they were only targeting Iska, she could not do anything but follow them. She immediately informed Iska and his team about it, then she also explained why they should not let the Nebula Sovereignty access the Vortex. She further explained that a vortex was also the reason why there were astral mages that existed hundreds of years ago. They were worried that there might be another astral mage to appear similar to the Grand Witch Nebulous, and the terrible thing that happened in the Empire would happen again. While Alice was looking at the handkerchief that she forgot to return to Iska, Rin approached her. She said that she received a message from her sister, named Sisel, about a vortex that might form in Mudal Valley. The Empire had also sent an army there, so Alice was wondering why she did not even know about it. It turned out that the Zoa family intentionally delayed the delivery of the reports to the Queen. Alice had a hunch that the Zoa family planned to keep the Vortex for themselves. So she decided to go to the Zoa family to find out the truth. When they arrived, they were greeted by the acting head of the Zoa family who had the alias, Masked Lord. When Alice asked about the Vortex, he just said that they had not yet confirmed if it was indeed a Vortex. Apart from this, they were still preparing the documents for their report. Meanwhile, when Iska's unit arrived at the Mudal Valley, Miss saw her former colleague, named Shanarot. While they were talking, they were all summoned because the saint disciple who would lead them, called Nameless, had arrived. He told them one by one what they needed to do. After that, each group started to find the Vortex. After several hours of searching, Shanarot called Miss to inform them about the 3 units that could not be contacted. For this reason, they decided to go back for the meantime because there might have other orders for them. But according to Nameless, nothing would change in their mission. They even said that they did not need to send a rescue squad because only 3 of the 32 units were missing. Iska's group was disappointed with what they heard, so Iska tried to talk to Nameless to find out the reason since he was his colleague before when he was a saint disciple. But when he confronted him, Nameless did not want to answer his question because he was currently in a low rank. Suddenly, Miss came in to present Iska as their captain. But even she said that, she still did not get an answer from Nameless. On the other hand, Alice decided to go to Mudal Valley. But they had no ideas that another purebred of the Zoa family, named Kissing, had plans to go there too. When Alice arrived, the guards wondered why they were there. The guards tried to stop Alice, but the Vortex suddenly emitted a strong ray of light. Kissing also came, and the Masked Lord explained that it was only a few hours ago when they found out about it. He also said that they were the ones who would take care of guarding it, because he believed that Kissing was capable of facing the people of the Empire. Alice asked him if they were planning an all-out war, which Masked Lord did not deny because that was what the Astral Mages had been wanting for a long time. While Iska's group was trying to find the Vortex, they had found it because they saw the light coming from it. But just a few moments later, Shanarot's unit arrived at their location. Miss immediately approached her, but they were surprised when Shanarot said that they were assigned to capture anyone from the Empire who would come there. Then they removed the stickers that hid their astral crests and it revealed that they were also astral mages. They had no idea that Nameless was also there and immediately attacked Shanarot's colleagues. He was also about to attack Shanarot, but one astral mage was able to attack him first. Shanarot ran quickly toward their car while carrying Miss. Unfortunately, they could not stop her. Since they already knew where she would take Miss, they decided to follow them. But Nameless warned them that they would still follow their previous plan to blow up the Vortex because it was already in the possession of the astral mages. A few moments later, Shanarot arrived at their place, so Alice and Miss were both surprised when they faced each other. Rin immediately put Miss to sleep before the Masked Lord found out about the relationship between Alice and Iska. Alice thought of a way so she and Iska would face each other again, and this was to find out from Shanaro at the base of the Empire. And when she found out about it, they immediately left to go to the location. A few moments after they tracked down the location of the Vortex, Nameless started to blow it up. Nene had a hunch that the next attack could be after 20 minutes, so they had to hurry. They entered the area, and only Iska came out of the car, while Nene and Jin moved forward. When Iska saw Miz, he immediately helped her. Shanaro tried to attack him, but it did not work against his astral sword. At that moment Kissing appeared, and since the missile was coming, she targeted it first. When Alice arrived at the Empire's base, they did not see even a single Imperial soldier there. But when they were about to leave, Rin felt a presence, so she immediately pushed Alice away. It turned out to be Nameless, and Alice fought against him. Alice used the Thousand Thorn Blizzard, but Nameless just easily avoided it. Because of this, Alice decided to show her true power and use the Great Ice Calamity. Nameless did not force himself to fight against her and decided to retreat first. Meanwhile, Kissing started to attack Iska, but he was able to stop all of her attacks, causing Kissing to think that Iska was a saint disciple. So she brought the missile and detonated it right in front of Iska. The explosion was so strong that it was also seen by Rin and Alice. Kissing thought she had already killed Iska, but she was shocked when he appeared in front of her. She used the Dragon of Thorns, but before she could make another attack, Iska immediately put her to sleep. Iska was about to leave when the Masked Lord suddenly came there and attacked him. After taking Kissing, he kicked Miz into the Vortex. Iska also quickly jumped there to save Miz, and Alice saw him just in time. When he got hold of Miz, he saw Alice wanting to reach out for his hand. As they held each other's hands, Alice used her power to get them out. But because of the astral spirit of the Vortex, they got separated. After they landed at the top, Jin and Nene came to rescue them. When they got home, it was here that Miz felt something strange on her arm. After a while, Rizia came to inform them about their next mission. This time, they were assigned to enter the Nebula Sovereignty and capture the Queen. They could not believe that they were given this mission, and they thought that it was impossible for them to do it. But Rizia was confident that they could do it because she believed in the ability of their unit. One of the problems was how to enter the Nebula Sovereignty, since only the Astral Crest serves as a passport to enter it. Rizia said that they had already prepared something for this, and they would know about it when the preparation was done. After Rizia left, they noticed that Miz was still feeling uncomfortable about her arm. So Nene helped her because she was thinking that Miz might have been bitten by some insect. But when they looked at it, they were surprised that it was an astral crest. Miz immediately became worried, so Iska calmed her down. Jin had a hunch that Miz might have gotten this astral crest from the Vortex. Since she and Iska both fell into the Vortex, it was possible that she was possessed by an astral spirit. Miz was terrified to hear this, because they knew that if the Research Institute found out that she had become an astral mage, they would surely sentence her to death. For Iska to show his full support to Miz, he said that if Miz chose to stay as their captain, they would do everything to protect her. At that moment, they just needed to hide the astral crest until they find a good solution for it. After some time, the three talked in Iska's room. They are worried that Rizia might find out about Miz's situation. And if this happened, there was a high possibility that Miz would be eliminated immediately because she would be considered a spy like Shanaro. For this reason, Iska decided to take Miz to the neutral city. While they were hanging out in the square, Miz thought of buying something for them to drink. When he was alone, Iska once again remembered the mission that was given to them, and he knew that it was a big challenge. After a while, Alice came there and they were both surprised to see each other. Alice asked Iska what he was doing in Neutral City. Because Iska did not want to tell his reason, Alice forced him to speak. But before he could answer, Rin suddenly arrived, which surprised Alice, so she put the blame on Iska. So Rin also gave Iska something to drink which he did not refuse. Iska was wondering that it smelled strange, and when he drank it, Rin was also surprised. It was here that Iska suddenly became dizzy and immediately lost consciousness. Alice was surprised by this, so Rin apologized to her. It turned out that she added sleeping pills to the juice that Iska drank. She reasoned that she did not expect that Iska would drink what she gave. Alice was worried because they were still in Neutral City. So Rin thought that they should bring Iska. But before they could leave, Ms. suddenly came there. She was so worried about Iska that she accidentally used her astral power. But Alice immediately stopped her, so she could not do anything against them. Alice knew that they could not take Iska to Nebula's sovereignty, so Rin decided that they should just take him to the nearest territory of Nebulous, and it was an Alcatraz. When Rizia found out about what happened to Iska, she immediately talked to the Emperor on what they should do. She also informed the 8 great apostles about this, and told them what the Emperor wanted her to do in that situation. According to their witnesses, the car that brought Iska was on its way to Alcatraz. The heretical demon, called Salinger, who fought against the former Queen of Nebula's sovereignty, was also imprisoned there. If they could get him out of there, the Empire could benefit from it. After the meeting, Rizia went to Iska's companions and she brought with her the thing that they would use, so that they too could have an astral crest. She tried it on Nene, and they were surprised to see the crest. Jin took advantage of this opportunity to put it on Mismus's arm where her astral crest was. Then he chose to put his astral crest on his foot. Rizia explained to them the plan, so they could save Iska. When Alice's car arrived at Alcatraz, they were surprised when Iska woke up because Rin thought he would wake up the next morning. A few minutes later, Jin had arrived at the border. With the help of their fake astral crests, they entered the city without difficulty. Rizia called them to give them instruction where to go. When they came to the location, they were surprised because Rizia was also there. It turned out that she would go with them to the Alalogan prison tower, which she said where Iska might be imprisoned. But Iska was not brought there because Alice brought him to a hotel. There was another room that Rin had reserved, and Alice would stay there so she could rest, while she would look after Iska. Alice had no idea that Rin was planning something to Iska. She injured herself to make it look that Iska attacked her. She intended to put Iska in jail because she believed that Iska would only be an obstacle to Alice's dream of unification. Not long after, Alice went back to their room to ask Rin about their dinner, so she was shocked to see what Rin was doing to Iska. When Iska noticed her, he informed Rin about it, but Rin did not believe him until Alice touched her shoulder. On the other hand, when Iska's companions arrived at the prison tower, Ms. doubted if Iska was really there. Jin thought that if Iska was not there, it was possible that Rizia had another mission in the area. At that moment, Rizia was currently heading to Salinger's prison. After a while, she arrived at his location. She did not hesitate and immediately told him that she wanted to free him from his prison. She also informed him that they wanted to ask for his help in their plan for mass invasion. Since Salinger also wanted to have some fun, he agreed to Rizia's offer, so he was released. At that moment, Iska and Alice were currently talking about the Alalogan prison tower. Because of this, Salinger was also mentioned in their conversation. Alice told him why Salinger was considered a criminal by the Nebula's sovereignty. Just a few moments later, Rin came to inform Alice that some people from the Empire had entered the territory. After the prison guards found out about Salinger's escape, they immediately sounded the alarm. Because of this, the situation for Iska's companions became even more difficult. After the loud explosion, Rizia called them. She informed them that Iska was not there, and she only saw a demon who was in rage at that moment. So she ordered them to get out of the prison tower before the prison guards caught them. After Alice found out about the current situation in the prison tower, she was worried that Salinger might escape because she was sure that he would try to get her mother's astral spirit. In this situation, she had Rin prepared their car because they were going to the prison tower to stop Salinger. Before they left, he gave a handkerchief to Iska in exchange for the one he lent her before. While Jin's group was trying to get out of the prison tower, they thought that they would need a bait to face the prison guards. Ms. volunteered to be their bait because she was already an astral mage at that moment. She immediately appeared to the prison guards and caught their attention to chase her. But not long after, she was hit by a bullet in the leg, causing her to fall to the ground. When the prison guards were about to kill her, Jin and Nene moved quickly to save her. They immediately called Iska. Fortunately, Alice left him his cell phone. Because of this, they learned where each other was, and Mismus group heard that Alice was on her way to the prison. When Jin asked Iska if he could get out of where he was, Iska realized something. He immediately went to take the handkerchief, and there was the key to his handcuffs. When Alice arrived to the prison tower, she caught the attention of the prison guards. While she was leading them, she assigned Rin to find Salinger. When Iska was close to the prison tower, Jin and the others were coming out of there. After he got his astral swords, he begged his companions to evacuate the affected people, then he quickly entered the prison tower. Just a few moments later, Rin faced Salinger. While Alice was not there yet, Rin fought against him. Since her attack did not work, she released her golem. But even this was also easily defeated by her opponent. She tried to use the scattered part of the golem, but Salinger only managed to control it and use it to attack her. Salinger also said that her earth astral spirit came from a purebred. In Rin's anger, she rushed at Salinger, but that was when he knocked her down. He was about to kill her when Iska suddenly came to block his attack. Salinger could not believe Iska was able to stop his invisible blast. Iska made an agreement with Rin that if he defeated Salinger, she should not stop them until they crossed the border. When Salinger attacked, Iska once again blocked it. Even though the sound astral spirits were invisible and harmful, Iska strengthened his sense even more to track it. Iska suddenly attacked his opponent, but Salinger quickly created a wind barrier to block it. Iska continued to attack until Salinger almost caught him. While at Alice's location, Nameless suddenly appeared to her. She immediately thought that he might be the reason why Salinger got away. She tried to attack him, but Nameless could easily dodge it. Then he just told her that his mission was over, so he immediately left the area. After her opponent left, she saw Salinger and was surprised that he was fighting Iska. When Salinger attacked with freezing fire, Iska tried to stop him, but the fire just engulfed him. Salinger was complacent that Iska was definitely dead, but Rin believed that Iska would not just die like that. She even mentioned that Iska had defeated their founder who was considered equal to Salinger's strength. But Salinger did not believe her, and said that she was just lying. He was about to attack Rin when Iska suddenly appeared. He chased after Iska and when they reached the top, he realized how Iska survived his attack. So he climbed to the very top of the building to use the combined air and lightning astral spirit. Fortunately, Rin quickly released her golem to block this attack. In Salinger's anger, he attacked Rin, but Alice came just in time to stop him. At that moment, Iska rushed to attack, so Salinger also took out 2 swords. But with the power of Iska's astral swords, Salinger's weapons did not work against his opponent. It just made him laugh out loud because finally, he found someone stronger to fight him in his attempt to get what he wanted. But he made it clear to Iska that he could not be stopped, and then he let himself fall and disappeared. Because of the agreement between Iska and Rin, Iska was able to leave there freely with his entire unit. When Nameless got back, he was greeted by another Nameless. It turned out to be Rizia, and she just borrowed the same suit. Nameless informed her that he had 2 special forces that had successfully entered the central province, so it was now possible for them to spy on the palace. Rizia mentioned that their emperor seemed to be interested in Iska. That night, while Alice and Rin were talking about Iska, they had no idea that Sisel was watching them. Because of this, she heard Iska's name and she suddenly remembered the day when Iska released her. She thought that Alice might be referring to the same person who saved her. When Iska's unit came to the Empire, Rizia immediately informed the Emperor. The Emperor was excited about what he observed because it was the first time in 100 years that this had happened. He was referring to the purebred, and he observed that she was falling for an imperial swordsman. One day, Sisel dreamed that something bad happened to Nebula's sovereignty and to her mother. After some time, her mother called her. When Sisel faced her mother, she mentioned the information she had received about the reconciliation of El Samara, which was an independent city, and the Empire. So she instructed Sisel to go to El Samara and use her astral spirit to find out if the city was already on the side of the Empire. The Queen was planning to bring her personal bodyguards with her, but she chose only Schwartz to accompany her on this mission. While Miz was having problems with her astral crest because of the re-examination that would be done on them, Rizia and Michaela came and talked to them. Michaela found out that they had spent too much time in their working hours, which was against the military law, and it was Rizia's negligence. For this reason, they were ordered to go on vacation for 60 days. They thought of taking advantage of this opportunity to think of a good solution to solve Miz's problem. In order for them to be able to act on this matter, they needed to have their vacation in a place far from the Empire. After the days when Alice was always outside, this caused her paperwork to pile up in her office. Suddenly, they heard the sound of the trumpet signaling that someone in a high rank came, so Alice thought that her sister, named Eltir, might have returned from her journey. They went out to meet her, and Sisel just happened to pass by. Alice invited her to meet their sister together, but she immediately rejected her. That was when Alice found out from Rin that the queen had assigned Sisel to go to Alcatra. After a few hours, Sisel left the palace. The reason why she did not want to be with anyone else was because there were many people inside the palace that she could not trust. She promised to herself that she would protect her mother when she returned. Eltir immediately went to the Zoa family to meet with the masked lord. She told him of her alleged discovery that someone close to them was currently in contact with the Empire. But she did not say the names of these people. Meanwhile, Miz and others chose the city of Alcatra for their vacation because of the beach there. A few minutes after they arrived, they immediately went to the beach to go for a swim. In the afternoon as they were going back to the hotel, Nene told Jin to go ahead with Miz because she and Iska were going to buy their dinner first. Since Nene needed to pee, she asked Iska to wait for a while. It was here that Sisel accidentally bumped into Iska, and their eyes met. But they did not talk because Nene came, so Sisel immediately left there. So when she returned to her place, she was very happy to tell Schwartz that she finally found her dream knight. On the other hand, the queen took Alice with her because they were going to Sisel's room. She was concerned about Sisel's behavior and wanted to see what she was doing. When they entered the room, Alice noticed a newspaper. They were surprised when they saw that its content was about Iska. They immediately thought that Sisel might be investigating him. They thought that Sisel could have heard their conversation about Iska while using her astral spirit. And she might be suspecting that Alice had a connection with Iska. When they talked to the queen, Rin suggested to her that if possible, Alice should also be sent to Alcatra. Through this, Sisel might be able to tell Alice her thoughts. The queen thought it was a good idea too, so she agreed to it. A few hours later, Sisel and Schwartz returned to the place where she met Iska. She used her astral spirit to find out which hotel Iska's group was staying. Since she was able to get an access card, she easily entered Iska's room. But it turned out that Iska felt her presence, which was why he caught her. She immediately introduced herself, so Iska let her go. When Iska turned on the light, Sisel thanked him first for what he did to free her. Then she told him why she was there to see him. She said that she wanted to take him to Nebulous, so after hearing this, he suddenly remembered Alice's offer to him before. He asked Sisel about her true identity, but she just lied and said that she was just an assistant. When he asked why she chose him, she became emotional and said that she had no one to trust in the palace. Then she decided to leave, but she promised that she would come back. On the other hand, the 8 great apostles found out that there was a purebred in Alcatra. Since this purebred was not with her bodyguards, this was their chance to capture it. So they decided to send their witch-hunting weapon, called the droid soldier. When Eltir and Masked Lord talked again, it was here that she mentioned the name of the people whom she suspected as the one betraying them. She revealed that these were her sisters, Alice and Sisel, but the Masked Lord just laughed at this. Eltir wanted to ask for help, so that they could stop her sisters. At that moment, the Masked Lord planned to find out if Eltir's suspicions were true. While Alice was on her way to Alcatra, the bus she was riding suddenly stopped. It turned out to be because of the footprints, so she quickly went out to look at it. When she approached the footprints, she saw oil on them. That day, Iska decided that they moved to another hotel because he did not want his companions to be dragged into a problem. When Nene noticed that the sticker on Mismus's arm was being removed, it was here that Jin shared the solution that he was thinking. He said that they needed to go to the general market because they might get a sticker that Shanarot used to hide her astral crest. So they decided that they would go there the next morning. When they arrived at the new hotel where they were going to stay, Iska told them to go first because he was going to exchange money that they would use for the next day. Jin took his bag, but it turned out that he had a suspicion that Iska was hiding something. When he got out, he looked around to see if Sisel had followed them, and he was not wrong. He wondered how she had known about their transfer to a new hotel. So they went to the vacant lot, and it was here that Sisel told him about the power of her astral spirit. Through this, she found out everything that Iska had done earlier, including his call to look for the new hotel. Then she also told the truth that she was a princess of nebulous sovereignty. She also mentioned that the reason why she wanted to take Iska to the palace was because she had a hunch that someone was planning something bad for the queen, and it was also a descendant of their founder. But she had a suspicion that its purpose was not the sovereignty, but the change, so if the queen died, there would definitely be a full-scale war between the nebulous sovereignty and the empire. Since she could not identify who it was at the moment, she could not trust anyone else either. When Alice arrived, she immediately met Schwartz, who asked her if she had seen Sisel. That's why she found out that he had been looking for her sister for a while. Although Iska also agreed with Sisel, he still could not go with her. He explained that he wanted to stop not only the full-scale war, but also the 100-year conflict between the two countries. So he said that he still preferred a peace negotiation, but Sisel did not agree because the empire had committed many sins against them. Iska said that she also knew someone close to her whom she could trust, just like how she trusted him. But before Iska could mention who he was talking about, the masked lord suddenly came there. He then thought that what Eltir was accusing on Sisel was true. Iska recognized him immediately, who was the one who kicked Miz in the Vortex. Sisel tried to explain, but it turned out that he recorded her conversation with Iska. Sisel immediately realized that the masked lord would use it to defeat them in the upcoming election for the next queen. She knew that they would catch her, so she ran away. While Iska was blocking masked lord's disciples, the droid soldier appeared to them. Iska tried to approach Sisel, but he was immediately blocked by masked lord. Fortunately, Jian and the girls also came to help Iska. When they saw the droid soldier, they were also surprised why the Empire let it out. The droid soldier found out who the astral mages were, and Miz was one of them. Sisel tried to get away from it, but the droid soldier easily caught up with her. So Masked Lord had started to make his disciples attack Jin and the others. Iska quickly went to Sisel to save her. He fought against the droid soldier, but his attacks did not work on it. So he gave a signal to Nene to attack it. When Jin and Miz managed to get away from the disciples of Masked Lord, they did not expect to be caught up by the enemy. When Jin stopped his attack, the Masked Lord just moved the dagger to his other hand, causing Jin to be injured. But Masked Lord did not expect that Jin would be able to fire his gun. It just hit the voice recorder, so he no longer had evidence against Sisel. He kicked the weapon of Jin, and then spread the fuel that was in the drums. His disciple was about to light it, but his power was not working. It turned out that it was because of Miz wind astral art, so Jin had the opportunity to attack the Masked Lord, which caused its mask to break. Since he did not want them to see his face, they were forced to retreat. After Nene's attack on the droid soldier, it released a secondary energy that according to Sisel was an astral energy light. Iska quickly protected Miz, and because of the droid soldier's strong attack, it was seen by Jin and Miz. When the droid soldier was about to attack again, Nene got ahead of it, but her attack did not work. Iska asked her to meet with their companions, so they could evacuate the people who were near the area. Iska tried to fight the droid soldier again, and after a while, Sisel used her astral spirit to stop the droid soldier from attacking. Because of this, Iska had the opportunity to destroy its core. But moments after it fell, it came back to life and immediately absorbed Sisel. Iska acted quickly to save her until Alice arrived to join the battle. It was also here that Iska learned from Alice that he was fighting an astral spirit. When the droid attacked, Alice quickly took out her blossom to block it. But it attacked again, so they worked together to fight it. Alice created a barrier, and it was here that they executed the fusion of their powers in one attack. They were able to crush it, and because of the strong power from the attack that they unleashed, they were able to defeat it. After that, they also successfully saved Sisel. When she regained consciousness, she immediately asked Alice what was her relationship with Iska. Alice denied that she and Iska knew each other, but Sisel did not want to believe it. When Iska agreed with Alice's lies, it was here that Sisel told how she felt about Iska. Suddenly, they heard Miz's voice calling Iska, so he immediately left to go and see his companions. Rizia and Nameless immediately found out what happened to the experimental weapon of the 8 great apostles. When the Emperor read in a newspaper about Salinger's escape from the prison tower, he decided to come out. That's why he also met with Salinger not long ago. Meanwhile, the Queen summoned Eltir because she wanted to ask her something. She found out that Eltir was the one who revealed to the Empire about Sisel's travel to Samara. And one of the things she wanted to know was, if she was indeed the real Eltir. This is the end of the last episode of our Last Crusade, or the Rise of a New World Season 1. I hope you like it, and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss newly uploaded videos. Thank you for watching.